Hey there guys, what is happening? My name is Sumet Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means I help you feel better and perform better. Today I want to speak to you guys about synchronicity. Now, what is synchronicity? Carl Jung calls it a meaningful coincidence. But I believe that there's no such thing as a coincidence. There are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. The reason that you clicked on this video is synchronicity.
Stop playing, I'm dead serious.
And if you can understand this, you can then try to trigger more synchronicity in your life. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can do that in this video. Now, if you're on a very spiritual path, you'll start to notice a lot more synchronicity. Maybe you might see different people that might come back into your life, or different signs or symbols.
Yo, man, it's like a dang spaceship up in here, man. I don't know these controls.
In different areas, you might notice certain animals or spirit guides or different numbers repeating. This is all a part of synchronicity. Our minds constantly have this mechanism to look for excuses, to look for meanings, to look for categories. But the word coincidence, actually in math, it's called coincide, which means that it fits perfectly. So what speeds up synchronicity? Essentially, you want to disengage from ordinary, predetermined pathways.
What is real?
In your mind. So what you are used to doing, you want to basically become a pattern interrupt. You want to introduce new stimulus into your mind. The next thing that you want to note is to stop resisting your dreams or outcomes that you want in your life. So you have a specific outcome that you want, and there are events showing up to get you there. But a little bit of token and playful resistance is going to show up. This can be in the form of family members, this can be in the form of friends, this can be in the form of media that you consume. Everything's sort of pushing you away from that goal. Stop resisting it. You've got to keep suspending the belief. We talk about suspension of disbelief. This is suspension of belief. You've got to keep the belief going in order for synchronistic events to follow. So once you have a crystal clear intention in mind, this is my outcome, now what you want to do is really follow the signs, symbols, and breadcrumbs to move you to where you want to go in the right direction. You have to start to trust your snap judgments about things and your ultra instinct. And once you can do that, you can get closer to experiencing much more synchronicity. Oftentimes, synchronicity is there. It's always there. However, we don't look for it. And so once we become aware of something, it becomes very activated in our selective focus. And so let's say that you were actively looking for situations where your life is getting better. Guess what? It's going to keep getting better because you're reminding yourself. One thing that I do is I sort of spark my subconscious mind. So on my ceiling when I wake up in the morning, I see I am blank, and then I add what I am, what comes up for me naturally. It's usually positive. And then I have a smiley face up there, so it reminds me to smile, as well as higher self evolved. So that's a reminder that I'm embodying and going into my higher self. Another thing that you can do is listen to affirmations or subliminal messages. I'm actually listening to an audiobook right now called Living in Flow, and it's all about the science of synchronicity and using quantum physics and quantum mechanics. So if you are interested in that, definitely check that out. In the book, the author explains that what differentiates synchronicities from just random coincidences is that synchronicities need to have a meaningfulness attached to them. So when an event is meaningful to you, that's what highlights it as a synchronistic event. He also writes that we don't always create everything in our lives, but passionate belief and action can shift probabilities in our favor more.
Real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Dr. Wayne Dyer, he explains synchronicities to be a collaboration with fate. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have all the answers, and neither do any of these other people. But what we're all trying to do is try to understand this thing on a deeper level. So doing things out of the norm, breaking the pattern, breaking the ordinary way of doing something, changing the mental circuit board. How do you do this kind of thing? try something new in every situation, try and see if you can feel your outline. Try and see if when you stare at somebody else, you can feel their outline or their aura. Once you shift your attention and your perception and make it much more playful, that's when you can start seeing much more synchronicity. Another thing you can do is put yourself in a trance state. Roll your eyes to the back of your head and let your head drop like you're about to fall asleep. That can make you very relaxed very fast. There are many other techniques that I can share with you. I don't want to get into too many of those, okay? I'm leaving those for my high-end clients, but I want to leave you with a few of these, and as you practice these techniques a lot more, you can get much better at it. The youngest billionaire from India who's created Oyo hotels, he says that when you work hard, you create much more luck. And I believe that to be true as well. When you really work hard towards something, you make yourself that much more lucky in that one arena. So keep working hard, keep pushing yourself, but do it from a place of grace and ease. Do it from a place where it feels natural and aligned to you, and not from a place where you feel like this thing is out of alignment to my path and what I'm trying to create. You want to trust more moments in your life. When you recognize the fact of, I just trusted that person, and that person seemed so trustworthy, and one thing led to another, and now I'm with them, or these kinds of moments where you have this plausible deniability, this ability to go with your emotional state, still keeping your logic intact, but you're letting your emotions sway you in a particular direction, because that's the world of energy. And when you can feel that world of energy, you can trust it a lot more. You can trust your intuition a lot more. The way that I see synchronicity is a vision that creates worlds. So everybody has different paths, right? And we all have paths, and when those two paths coincide or they meet with each other,
characters in movies who have it all figured out and everything is
then that creates new luck, new chances, new meaning. You see, so you want to start to notice the people that are coming into your life. You want to start to notice the events and opportunities that are coming into your life. You want to notice what things that you keep seeing over and over again in your conscious mind or even your unconscious or subconscious mind. You want to understand what you are feeling and whether you're trusting your feelings and letting that guide you. There's lots of ways to go about this thing. But once you begin this journey, it all comes down to that trust. So I would remind you to say yes to something that you wouldn't normally do, but you have a hunch about it. Like it's in the back of your mind. You feel an internal yes to move towards it. I want you to trust in that today. All right. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legend.